This is Theodore at Lies of the Devil. Go to liesofthedevil.com. We're at the front line in spiritual warfare. We're here to rip souls away from Satan and deliver them to Jesus Christ. And I don't do this lightly. I don't do this because it's fun. But I pray that after watching this video, people that are fans of this individual come to the saving grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and wake up. I went through this with Kent Hovind and exposed people, which really they already knew. Some people already knew, but just as a Christian coming out and saying, hey, listen, this guy, something's wrong. You can look that documentary up, Kent Hovind, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. This call for an uprising guy thinks he can intimidate or something like that. Well, we already went through it, so, it's not a problem. But I'm going to talk about a call for an uprising. I made, in all honesty, a video I made, Ephesians 6:12, it was a Bible study on the shooter, the Las Vegas shooter. And the last line of that video, it talks about, I was talking about antichrists, and then I said this includes call for an uprising and Alex Jones and InfoWars. I actually meant to say stay away from these type of theories and whatnot, but as I was typing, I had a bunch of work to do, and it didn't come out right, okay? And then this call for an uprising guy comes at me and says, I'm not even gonna I played the video, like the first maybe like 5 minutes of it. It's a 16-minute long video of him just it was crazy. All right. This guy there's something wrong with him. Okay. And I don't say that lightly. Okay. There's something spiritually wrong with the guy. And he was saying I called him an antichrist. I never called him an antichrist. I was talking about the Las Vegas shooter having an antichrist spirit. Anyway, I'm not here, this video, I have to talk about it. I have to go more into depth as to what these people do, okay, how they fool people. Go watch the documentary, Las Vegas shooter documentary, Entertainment for Christian Truthers, okay? And I'm going to open up this, before I get into this, right here, 2 Timothy 4:3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You could talk about Christians going to megachurches and they're listening to their pastors because they want itching ears, and there's a bunch of false converts in the church, but they go there for the cathartic effect to feel good, like I believe in Jesus. Yes, well, that's what a call for an uprising is. He's literally making ear entertainment. Okay, I could use other words, but it's basically ear entertainment. He's tickling your guys' ears. He's tickling a lot of people's ears. Again, there are pedophiles and satanic rituals and people doing weird stuff, but we live in a spiritual world. It's not, we see the physical stuff, but it's spiritual, and it's much deeper than saying they did it. The government are trying to do this. They. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So my point is that he's giving you all itching ears. I mean, it's very, anybody that has discernment can see what he's doing, and it's not good. Okay, he's giving you all what you want, entertainment, so that he can sell advertising money on YouTube, clickbait, and then have you guys fund him for Patreon because he's a leader fighting and whatnot, all that stuff. Okay, and so he's basically making money from creating entertaining videos, all under the guise of Jesus Christ, which we will show you there's something wrong with that. Okay. So let's go into the first video, and I'm trying to concentrate on just the Las Vegas situation here to give you guys an idea, because the Las Vegas situation is very important. It'll tell you a lot about who these Christian truthers and info warrior type people really are, that they're deluded. Okay, I'm not sure if they're wired. Okay, it's called neuroplasticity. The more you enjoy something, the more your brain gets rewired, and you want more porno or more violence. And these people love just making up stories and holding on to lies and perpetuating these lies no matter what, because they're so prideful they cannot admit that they're wrong. And I pray that they do. I pray that they come out and say, listen, I'm fabricating some things. I'm sorry I'm lying. I'm sorry I'm trying to sell things from whatever. But they won't do that, unfortunately. Doing this on the fly, so you have to be very patient with me. I was going to show the video that he made about me, but it was just so incredibly hateful, and the words are coming out of his mouth, that it shows his fruit, and it actually shows the fruit of his followers. Because you shall know them by their fruit, right? That's the key.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to cover the shooting, which appears to be a false flag shooting at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Obviously, as most of you know, false flag does not mean that it's a hoax. It does not mean that it's fake. It does not mean that people were not harmed or killed. What it means is that it was planned, that an organization like the CIA was behind it, likely. That is my take on from what I have seen so far.
Where have you seen that the CIA was involved? And I'm going to go show you later on. He calls this Stephen Paddock guy an MK Ultra soldier. Where did you get that from? Go look at the last video I did on AMTV, Christopher Green, and his nonsense. You know what I mean? Go back there and check out what I said about MK Ultra and whatnot. I mean, where do these guys get this? Why do they make these things up? Okay, it's sensationalism. It's to get you guys sucked into their, portal of entertainment. Oh, and I should say that they'll say, "Oh, I've done a lot of research into Skull and Bones and the CIA and MK Ultra, and I've looked at their declassified, stuff and blah 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 blah." So but that doesn't mean anything. Anybody can pull up that stuff. Anybody can watch videos on Skull and Bones. It doesn't mean that they actually know what they're doing. It's just somebody else's opinion. Now there are things that are out there, facts, like Skull and Bones isn't a cultic religion. Okay, it's a cult of these fraternity brothers, and they do weird stuff. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're running sex pedophile rings all over the country. And in a lot of times, it's for filthy lucre's sake. It's people like Harvey Weinstein in high positions of power that they could do whatever they want because nobody will tell on them. Nobody will say, "Hey, listen, you're a punk. Stop." They won't do that. And so he's got his own little pedophile ring, and he might associate with some other, but it doesn't mean Skull and Bones runs it. So anyway, that's that.
Nothing that I have to create fear, to create guns for a reason that we see and will always see is gun control. Because remember, they want your guns, they want everyone's guns for a reason. Total control. And they have to create events like this to create fear, to create panic amongst the masses so that they ask, that they beg, I should say.
The whole martial law thing and the government coming to take your guns and then martial law and craziness on the streets and blah blah blah. That was made up. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. That was a made up fictionalized theory that came from Alex Jones or somebody like that, who knows, and was pushed on people as a fear, as a story, and that's what people cling on to. They're not going to get your guns. Okay, if they wanted to shove down legislation, they would have done it ASAP like they did with 9/11. Okay? It's ridiculous. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be a slow destruction of the gospel of Christ. Okay? It's going to be a slow destruction of the gospel of Christ. And then atheists and Christians are going to be exhausted of fighting with each other, that they're going to grab onto a one world religion, Luciferianism, where Buddha is God and Jesus is God and all these prophets, they're all part of a Godhead. Okay, and then as they do that, they're trying to merge people in with machines. And Genesis 3:5, I did a Bible study on that. Ye shall be as gods. Okay, he made a suggestive promise. Ye shall be as gods if you basically kill yourselves. Okay, you had life in a Garden of Eden. Kill yourselves, and then I will give you life. And he's going to do that through machines. Okay, so nothing about martial law. It's not going to happen. The world leaders, it's called mutual destruction. They're not going to nuke anybody and whatnot. They're not going to do that because it'll cause World War III and it'll kill everybody. All right? So the whole martial law thing is ridiculous.
For gun control, for our government to push this across. Now, this is something they've been working at for a while. They've been planting seeds over and over. But nonetheless, the guy, a lone gunman, they're trying to push this. Oh, well, he has a history of, gambling. Maybe he was in debt. Maybe he had some gambling issues. And so he just would opened fire on a concert after all these years in his life of living here on earth. He's retired, living off retirement money, and he would just go and shoot all of these people which have no relation. Remember, when shootings like this happen, you have to remember, domestic situations, domestic violence, domestic murder, something else, and something would, trigger them to attack or to kill, their wife or their husband or whoever. Events like this, when he has no connection to anybody at the concert. He's just opening fire on a bunch of random innocent people. And they want you to think that there's maniacs and psychopaths out there that would just open fire on and kill random people, from that distance from the hotel. He couldn't even see what they look like, so it was nothing racially motivated. Okay? This is just...
He goes on to say that the new tactic of these people that want to take everything, that want to take everything from you, the new tactic is they want everybody to believe that there's sociopaths or psychopaths out there that might pull out guns and fire on people. And I mean, come on, that's just crazy. Why do serial killers do what they do? Why do serial killers kill children? Or why do they? Because they're crazy. This Stephen Paddock guy was basically a serial killer in the making. He was just waiting, and he unloaded. Watch the documentary, Las Vegas Shooter documentary, Entertainment for Christian Truthers, okay? That's reality. Sometimes that happens. And they'll say it's because it doesn't deny the fact that they're still using this to take away your guns. Really? Department of Homeland Security came out, and they've already made an official statement saying, hey, listen, this is what happens when you have freedom, okay? Don't be afraid. Go out there and have fun, do what you're going to do, and sometimes this stuff happens. So they're not trying to take people's guns. There's so much to go through. I'm not going to do it. Otherwise, I'd make a 3-4 hour long video on these people. But I'm going to take splices, okay, and just go through it. But, you guys have to do your own research and find it out yourself. Don't just rely on one man to get your information. A lot of times, these people, it's entertainment, and they want your viewership. They want the ad money or whatever.
Strictly reeks of a gun control created event. This is the tactic that they're using now. Okay, we've seen it with the police officers shooting people, shooting black people, targeting black people, which is fit into the race war agenda as well. But this, for them, is an easier attempt to make people uncomfortable.
Do you understand how... Did you know that, do you travel in America at all? Okay, there's a lot of crime in the black communities. Okay, lots. Okay, and lots of gun violence. Okay, that's just unfortunate. That's just what it is because of not being educated and whatnot. It has nothing to do with racism. Okay, lots of educated black people come out and say the same thing. Has nothing to do with a race war. Okay, there are bad cops that do bad things. Okay, they do that. They just in Arizona. My brother, there was police officers that shot a white veteran. And they said that it was because he was, violence. They were afraid that he was going to pull out a gun and do violence on them. And the guy was he had PTSD. He was a harmless veteran. Okay, he was a white veteran. How come nobody's saying that was for a race war? Okay, so this is just one video. Okay, hyping it up, hyping up this scenario. Let's go on to another here real quick.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As most of us are, we're looking into what is supposed to be one of the deadliest, or if not the deadliest, shooting or mass shooting in U.S. history. All the time to convince the masses that it's in their best interest to gun grab, to get everyone's guns, that we're going to live in this wonderful world of peace and love, when these moronic people who refuse to listen, refuse to research, refuse to believe that there's people this sick, if they only could realize who is out there and who is doing this stuff, that we would have peace, that there wouldn't be wars, there wouldn't be these types of problems if they didn't create them.
Anybody with has discernment knows that's not right, okay? People are sinful. This happens, okay? There's not going to be a utopia, new world order. He's talking about a utopia, new world order. That's what he's talking about right there, okay? You know what? Satan was the ultimate rebellion. He was the ultimate rebel, okay? Lobbied angels And when I say lobbied, he had to have, because they had free will. Obviously, they turned against God, so he lobbied angels to go up against God. And guess what God did? Well, you know what God did, okay? A call for an uprising. And he's saying that as long as we rise up and we expose these people, we talk about these sick people that are they in the government, you know, and blah, 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 then we could get rid of all the violence. You could have a better world. Really? Go look at the Mockingjay movies, Hummingbird movies, whatever they're called, okay? Hunger Games. Go look at that movie, and it explains that the rebel group was using that woman, the bow and arrow woman. They were using her to overthrow the government, and they were just as bad as the people that were running society. Okay? You got to be very careful who you guys listen to. And here's the other thing. There's a video that came out. I'm going to show you this graphic, okay? See the Mandalay Bay? See the building that's even taller, okay? There was a person that filmed. I should have pulled it up. There's a person that filmed the actual people, the shots and whatnot, and the people that are down in the actual concert. There's one shooter, and there was like pop up, you know, shots, and then there would be a 10, 20, 30-second pause, reloading bullets, and then he would go to another window and do it again, and then there would be another pause, and he would go over to another window and do it again. There wasn't multiple shooters. This guy's on the 63rd level, the best sound you could get, the best footage you could get probably, other than the people on the ground level. And there was nobody else in the concert shooting others. Okay, that was one of the other conspiracy theorists that came out. A woman who, and I'm going to pull it up here, she came out on InfoWars, and InfoWars grabbed it and was like, see, there's another shooter. There was a shooter in the concert, you know, doing it. No, there wasn't. You can actually see there's no muzzle flashes, no nothing. There was no other shooter in the actual concert, okay? And then she dies, actually, let's just go to it. She dies from seizures. Her grandma says she dies from seizures. She had 3 of them. Here we go. Julie Norton, the co-founder of High Desert Foundation. According to her grandmother, Julie Norton, the co-founder of High Desert Phoenix Foundation, her and her daughter, okay, her niece, founded this foundation. She comes out and says, Norton found her granddaughter just after 8:30 a.m. when she arrived to care for her 3-year-old great-granddaughter, Scarlett. She believes her daughter may have died, or her granddaughter may have died in her sleep after her husband, Mike, left for work. Kimberly had epilepsy, and she was always prone to seizures. She told her friends that she recently had 3 focal seizures. Seizures are a very dangerous thing, okay? And so she dies, and then all of a sudden it's like, she died. The government killed her. No, she had 3 seizures. Literally, it's the PTSD. She couldn't handle it. And she came out saying that, oh, we were running for our lives, and there was somebody else that was shooting after us, and it was like we were just running from somebody shooting at us that was in the concert. She was scared out of her mind, you know what I mean? She was scared. It was a real event. It wasn't fake. And that was what she believed happened in her head. There was no other shooter. It's because literally she was devastated. The woman you know, and I hope she was saved. I hope she went to heaven, you know? But now, you know, that's another conspiracy theory people make.
Nonetheless, just another event to trick them into going along with their agenda. But the more I'm looking at some of this stuff, the more I've seen in the last 24 hours, this potentially could be a hoax event. This could potentially be an event that didn't necessarily have casualties involved, because a lot of the footage that has come out has shown nothing that would make you think that people were getting shot and massacred.
Absolutely absurd, people. This guy's nuts. This guy's a loony. Looney Tunes. Okay? The footage has come out. Okay? There was blood. People got shot. People died. Okay? There's people that worked at the hospital that have come out and said, listen, whatever you guys think, I worked at the hospital. I was a nurse. Okay? It was an event. It happened. They've even go out on videos to try to stop these conspiracy theories saying, listen, I'm a nurse. What are you doing? This is ridiculous. Stop it. I was there. I saw it. Let's go to this woman who they like to make a conspiracy theory on her being killed by the government because she was going to expose everybody as to what was really going on with the Las Vegas shootings. It's just funny, the webs that they weave. It's just so ridiculous. Let's see here. I can't actually. You know what? I'm not. If you give me a second here, I'm going to pull it up. Hopefully I'll get it here fast enough, but I want to move on. Yeah, here we go. Nope, that's not it. But basically, this woman. Oh, here we go. Let me show this here real quick. Let's see. This is from Infowars. Okay, this is the woman that suddenly died. We were rounding some sort of corner maybe, and I looked to the right and saw this large cowboy sitting down with his legs spread, holding a blood-soaked woman. I thought to myself, we need to hide. That's an eyewitness woman. That's a woman that was an eyewitness, and she said that. And then all of a sudden she died, and now another conspiracy is popping up. Hey, listen, if she's part of the plan here, okay, you don't need to be using her testimonies, okay? You know what I mean? You don't use her testimony, because she herself is saying that she saw somebody blood-soaked. There's other videos out there where somebody got his arm shot, and the wound was gaping. It was bad. He was under shock. Okay, these people, he's creating sociopaths. This call for an uprising guy, he's glorifying a mass murderer. He's glorifying a serial killer psychopath by blaming it on the government and saying that it was a hoax event and that there was no people hurt and that it could I'm going to get off of that. Let's go on to the next video. When you have the Lord Jesus Christ, it's very easy to discern, okay? Here's another one. They're saying that they saw Stephen Paddock in at some casino, days after the actual shooting. He got scot-free, like his clone, or who knows what kind of weird stuff they come up with. Well, it's come out 100% proof that it's not the same person. It's already come out, But here you go. He'll latch onto it.
If this was a real, situation where there was an actual shooter, he likely would have been a Manchurian candidate, working for the government. The whole theory of him being this guy, and he's been targeting, concerts recently, and this has all been planned by this one guy who happens to own 33 guns, wink, wink, 33 firearms, that he just went crazy and wanted to do this. Nobody's buying that. Okay, so put that and dismiss that. Now, then people just will go, well, was it real or was it not? Well, if it was real, if this guy really did fire, he was likely a Manchurian candidate. He was likely working with them. They wouldn't just ship him to Atlantic City and let him continue to play poker and have him sit next to a woman look similar to his girlfriend. That's why when stories like this come out, they like to push this, because this fits into the conspiracy narrative. It's a pointless narrative, right? A narrative of, and can you believe it? These conspiracy theorists are saying that he's alive and he's still, he's in Atlantic City now. He's got such a gambling problem that he went all the way to Atlantic City and there's no problems and he has.
That's enough. I got all kinds of stuff to do. This call for an uprising guy, you shall know them by their fruit. His fruit stinks. I'm going to show you that he's a racist also. Let's go to this video right here. He made this video about me saying the most disgusting things, saying that I'm overweight. Hey, dude, I ain't overweight, okay? You see my face, I'm not overweight, believe me. So he says I'm overweight, calls me, I don't even know. I can't remember. Just calls me fat or whatever. And he says, and he looks like something to me. I'm not going to get into it. Well, he's racist against Jews, okay? Here we go. Looks like a Jew to me, and he puts a heart there, These people are sick in the head, man. They're the racists. I'm not Jewish, by the way. So, anyway, I've got, you guys need to wake up. There's lots of Gnostic Christians out there like Paul Young and the Shack. Go watch that documentary. I need to upload the full version. I probably upload the full version tonight. And also Alien Covenant. We don't sell it for $12. It's all free. Okay what I mean? God's put it in my heart when we were doing laymansbookstore.com, okay, the Christian online library. Everything's for free, okay? I've got a job that I work and that pays for the bills to keep us going and whatnot, and it stretches our dollar thin. But you know what? God's been really good to us, especially just being able to evangelize and see America and wake people up and talk to them and whatnot. And so that's why we put everything out there for free, because we're just trusting in the Lord Jesus Christ, and anybody who feels the need to donate to us, that we will just take everything and put it back into giving free gospel tracts and traveling and whatnot. And so we just want to thank you all. Stay away from these Gnostic Christians, these people that are wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay, stay away from them. They're going to confuse people. They're creating sociopaths that don't have empathy. that are lost in la la land, and it's all for the filthy lucre's sake and for entertainment. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. John 8:32, ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Oh, hey, a call for an uprising. I know he's going to say this. If he makes a video, I hope he doesn't. I honestly hope he doesn't. I just want to be done with it. But I got my hair cut because my wife wanted to cut my hair for 2 weeks now, and I was so busy, I said no. And so anyways, that's why she cut my hair. So don't flatter yourself and say it's because you made fun of me, and I'm insecure or whatever like that. Anyway, God bless, and stay awake, okay? Stay awake and stay aware, and read this. Don't listen to man. Read this and check out everything for yourself and learn the truth.